society to help men to arise to their role and their space in the society and even in the church to be able to arise and become that which God set them to be. So today we're going to be having a very interesting conversation, a continuation of in the marketplace. Today we have very qualified guys who are doing great things in the field, and we'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell us who they are, and then we pick it up from there. So let's start from Simon.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Simon Geshuke Jage, aka Mwalimu Simon Geshuke, and career-wise I'm doing construction, so I'm a building contractor.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you and welcome to the show, Simon.
Thank you.
Yes, gentlemen.
Good evening, viewers. My name is George Mogendi. I'm a quantity surveyor in terms of this profession, and we are happy to be here to discuss much more about men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
I believe that you have been prepared for such a moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we are going to interact and hear what are the available opportunities, challenges, and inspire men who are listening to us throughout the globe, on our channels, on our social media channels. I believe that it's the great time to share to your friends. Let them hear that there is some word coming from men. Share to your friends, share to your relatives, that somebody may benefit from this information.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. Let's start off. Mr. Simon.
Yes, sir.
We know we have been in this space that our government has even rolled the big 4 agendas. And one of the agenda is in the housing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And development.
Yeah.
I believe that is a place that you have some authority to speak about today. Tell us more. What is this great role and the need for us to be able to attend to right now as a nation and as a people?
Actually, this is one of the fastest growing industries, construction industry. And I think the government had seen there's a lot of potential in this industry as long as they put the right structures to manage the industry and also to facilitate. Actually, basically what happens is that there have been some neglect in the past, and you find that there have been challenges in the past. So it's the highest time that the government is raising its standards even to support the industry. And more likely also to do some regulations, because in the past you find that the industry had been having issues of regulations, having construction that don't meet the standards. So in their agenda they had an idea of doing affordable housing, and to have an affordable house, it means a house that is below even 1 million shillings. With 600, 800,000, you can have a house. So we are looking at such kind of opportunities. Well, the cost of building will be a bit down, irrespective of the prevailing market rates.
So meaning the average Kenyan could be in a position to afford that decent housing. And you know, it's one of the core of the needs of humanity, isn't it? Shelter, isn't it? So it's a great need for all of us. And I think as you have addressed that, and there's a great need to expand, to be able to accommodate people,
more families,
to be able to give them a decent housing.
You are right.
And our friend George here is in that space of the technorant in that area. Would you want to tell us what is the role of a quantity surveyor, a QS, in the building industry? What is their role?
Okay, first of all, a quantity surveyor is a cost consultant and a project manager in any project pertaining construction. So that's the major role. But we have various roles as the project progresses. For example, maybe I can give a brief on if let's say we have a housing project like for the government or for any other client who comes in, maybe to get a design or to have a design. First of all, he has to know how much he is required to get this particular cost. So we have the pre-construction roles. Like first of all, we have to prepare the tender documents, do the tendering, get a qualified contractor who is going to carry out this particular job. And then now when you come to the construction, the construction period, will also have to supervise and manage these particular costs, so that we are within the budgets. We are not above the budget as the client had expected.
Sure.
And then we also have post-construction. This is whereby we ensure that this particular structure which has been brought up by this particular client or by the government, that is suitable, and it's a living space that people are going, it suits the people who are living in this particular environment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's office, whether it's an office.
Whether it's an office,
whether it's a home.
Wow.
And it's in the same domain we have BQs. Can you tell people what is a BQ? It's a bit technical, but just tell them what is a BQ.
A BQ is a documented booklet highlighting on different stages of construction processes. For example, maybe I can highlight, we'll have, if you have maybe a BQ, there's something which we call the preliminaries. Preliminaries, these are costs which are being incurred by a contractor before starting any projects. For example, we can say the things like the signboard. There are those signboards that you see written by architect,
saying that
proposed.
there's a building coming up.
Yes. We have also, we have things like sanitation. We have things like approvals, because they have to
go
be
to
approved.
the authority.
And then you also have things like we also have things like electricity and water, because they have to be catered by the contractor who's going to carry out this particular project. And then now we come to under element number 1. We have things like something like the substructure. What I mean by the substructure is from excavation, from the excavation levels up to the ground floor level. That's when you have done the ground floor slab. And then now we have the superstructures. The superstructures, it means anything above the ground.
Wow. We have had disasters in the last couple of months. We had one in Keno. We had another one in Kisumu recently.
Gashie.
Is it?
Gashie also.
And Gashie. He is in Gashie. Is it a factor of the sub or the super?
It's a factor of the sub, because if you mess on your sub, then it means that you have messed the whole structure or the whole particular project, because this is the base. So everybody needs to be very careful while handling the base. And that's where we have much of the costs is majorly being spent on the base.
Wow.
And then much again of it is also being spent on the finishes, depending on aesthetics of a client and some other things which a client may need.
Wow. Great. I think I'm loving that conversation, and especially now we have started to know where the problem is coming from. It's always good to know the root of the problem. And they usually say that even the tallest buildings, they labor too much on the base. And even with human life, I remember I've had motivational speaker, gentleman called Les Brown, saying that the greatest investment you can do is on the foundation. Because once you get it right at the foundation, you can support other structures, and they can be modified. But the foundation is very key. Simon.
Yes, sir.
Now that you have started talking about the foundation and stuff like that, have you seen the standards being met by the people who are building? And as a contractor, are you satisfied with the standards we have around? What would you say?
Okay, basically what happens that even before we start any kind of a construction project, we have things we call the architectural plans. Architectural plans also, especially if you are doing a story building, it also has to come with together with the structural designs. The structural plans and the architectural plans, they have to tally with each other. Structural plans are done by the engineers, and the architectural plans are done by the architectural designers. So both of them, they have to marry. And for you also to know whether your building will meet the standards, you have to have a very close supervision with the structural engineer. This is a person who also helps you to establish the levels, like the ground levels. After you've done the excavation, you might find that the soil there is a bit loose. If there is need be We have also experts we call surveyors who do the survey of the area to know the strength of the soil, strength of the ground. So all those aspects brought together, they marry together to bring that aspect of making a strong foundation. So you have to have a very close supervision. You have together with your structural designer or even architectural designer. Maybe to comment on the maybe the rates at which maybe the projects are failing. Sometimes you find that there have been some neglects, either on the side of the contractor or on the ground, or maybe they are ignorant, they don't know how to do things or something like that. Maybe they never follow the right channels, they never involve the right technical supports systems. So we have to do all these things together to avoid such kind of mistakes.
Do we have people that can supervise international standards, the buildings that are coming up in our country?
Yes, I think we have the capacity of people that can be able to supervise or do any particular job that even the foreign consultants that come to our country to do. Because one, we have all qualified architects, we have qualified engineers, we have qualified quantity surveyors, and the rest of the people who are being involved. When you talk about a house, if a client, for example, maybe you're in the diaspora or you are here, if you want maybe to build a house, the first thing that you need to think about is a design.
The design.
So once you have a design, and the design is being done by the architect, who has also to be registered by a body which is known as BORAX. That's the board of registered quantity surveyors and architects. So they have their own portal. So if you want to know if your architect is registered or not, or even your QS is registered or not, even the structural engineers, they also have their bodies which govern them and which protect them. So first of all, you need to get that particular design of which maybe is of your test. And then now secondly, you need to think about the cost. How much is it going to cost me? And then now the third thing, now we need to look at the durability and how now this building is going to stand up. So then now that's where now you go to the structural engineer. The structural engineer will come up also with this design and also advise you accordingly, according to how your land is, and maybe some other factors, so that we have this particular building coming up very well according to expectation and also according to the standards which are being involved.
Great. So we have the capacity, we have the right regulators, and there's a lot of goodwill, direction to meet the international standards. So we are at a good space, isn't it? In good hands, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. As an entrepreneur, one of your goals and your vision is actualizing dreams. Because some people have previously been disappointed by the schemes and modules that they have tried to acquire houses and homes. How has it been different with you? How has it been actualizing people's dreams?
We run a company known as New Age International Building and Developers Limited. And when I came up with that slogan or theme, it's of actualizing your dreams.
You're the founder, isn't it?
I'm the founder. I started way back some 7 years back, around 2013, 2014 there. So we thought of a process where we can partner with maybe developers who want to build houses, maybe for rental or maybe residential for their own private accommodation, or maybe for business purposes. So for you to actualize your dreams, you have to have a network of all these people you've been talking about, the architecture, the engineers, the contractor, and others, even other people bring in like the suppliers. Because sometimes you may not give us a full contract. We have full contracts and riba only contracts. So where we have a riba only contract, we just have to run the project through riba contract. And then what we can do best is to advise you on the suppliers who are reliable in the market, who can help you even get value for your money. Because we also faced challenges in the past where you sold quantities that don't meet this quantification. like for a ton of a ton of sand, or
Yes.
even ton of ballast,
Yes.
or even the number of stones required for a certain project.
Yes.
Once he gives out the document,
Yes.
it's now the work of the contractor, and
Yes.
also to arise with the client,
Yes.
so that they can come up with a simpler version of the same.
Yes.
Because not many would understand the language of
Yes.
the BQ.
Yes, the BQ,
Yeah,
yes.
so you have to simplify it for the client,
Yes.
so that they can understand.
Even
really,
for our viewers, we need to
yes,
simplify for them.
for them what they are really getting
Yes,
into.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have been able to meet the expectation of your clients previously,
Yes.
and having worked in that journey,
Mhm.
I believe and I pray that you come out distinguished,
Yes.
and so that you may be well sought person in that
Yes.
field, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
So continue doing what you're doing,
Thank you.
and I think consistency has been very key.
Yes.
In
Yes.
any industry, if you're consistent and you're honest,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that is lacking in all industry
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
is integrity.
It's angry.
People are promised very great things.
Yes, but
You know, when you're
delivery.
given that, it's called a show house.
Yeah. Show house.
A show house,
yeah.
it's meeting all the standards you'd want.
Yeah.
But when they finish the real project,
Yes. Yes.
you find they compromise so many things, isn't it?
Yes,
What did you
yes.
say about that, George? Because you have been in the industry, you've seen those show houses, the way they are exquisite. You know, they are made very superbly. But when the final product comes, like when they roll out the whole phase, it doesn't meet the expectation. What would you say as a quantity surveyor?
I think maybe the client expectation or what the client had planned to give out to his clientele.
Yes.
Maybe at some point, if he was not advised initially before he started the project,
Yes.
so he starts what we call cost cutting.
Yes.
So cost cutting is whereby now you start cutting cost in terms of materials that you are going to use,
Yes.
even in terms of quality.
Yes.
Many of the materials that are being used on site
Yes.
are not of good quality.
Yes.
And also they are not, I can say, of the standards that the client had expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People cut corners, isn't it?
Yeah.
The constructor,
Yeah.
the
Contractors.
contractor and the construction person,
Yeah.
whoever, both of them, either they're contracting for the client,
Even the client,
the
yeah.
client. So
Sometimes they
it all depends on the type of the contract that the contractor has.
Yes.
So maybe, let's say if it's a full contract,
Yes.
you'll find that the first maybe structure,
Yes.
you'll find that the contractor will do it very well.
Yes.
Will meet all the requirements.
But
and
will the client
standards.
know whether the contractor has a full contract or what? For
Yes,
example,
yes, because
they are supposed to know.
It's an
yeah,
agreement.
there's an agreement that
Yeah.
you sign to know whether now you have signed either a labor contract or you have signed a full contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying if the client has accepted to sign a full contract,
Yes.
then it means the person who is cost cutting here is the contractor.
Yes. Yeah.
But now, if the client has agreed with the contractor to sign a labor contract,
Okay.
then it means, because majorly the contractor will not allow cost cutting in a
Yes.
particular project. So
Yes.
maybe now you get, now the client will be saying,
Yes.
I don't have money to buy
Yes.
this and
Such
this.
and
Can we
such
go to
materials.
option 3 or option 2?
Yes.
So at that particular moment, the client now is the one who is cost cutting
Yes.
to achieve this particular
Yes.
project, which is supposed to be achieved. Yeah.
Wow, great. People, when they hear this conversation, it can arise or it can provoke in their hearts to do something with their hands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because most of the construction works is done by hands.
By
isn't it?
hands, yeah.
And the Bible says in the book of Psalm 62 that verse 12 from the ESV version that, and that to you, O Lord, belongs steadfast love, for you will render to a man according to his work.
Yes.
So whatever somebody does with their hands,
Yes.
what
Bless.
would you like to say about that, Simon?
You cannot get a blessing out of the blue.
Yes.
You have to earn it.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to earn the blessings. And mostly with our society currently, what we are finding that we have challenges. People not willing to toil,
Yes.
to toil even
Yes.
their bodies.
Yes.
They just want instant miracles,
Yes.
which is not the case.
Yes.
We have to work it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're encouraging people, and especially men,
Yes.
to go out
Yeah. And
to find something to do
you
with
can
their
do.
hands.
With their hands.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there is a reward in that.
It is a
Yeah.
reward.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have seen other projects that were started but were never finished.
Yeah.
Have you ever been called to finish a project which was started by somebody else?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's very frustrating.
Yes.
Because you'll be undoing some
Yes.
of the things that had been done.
Yes.
Yeah, recently I did something like that, and
Yes.
it's quite discouraging.
Yes.
Knowing that you had an opportunity to do it right,
Yes, in the
but
first place.
somehow you got messed up.
Yes.
So I'll just encourage people to do their due diligence,
Yes.
the kind of people they contract,
Yes.
and maybe whatever they want to risk their money, whoever they want to risk their money with.
Yes.
So they have to be men and women of integrity.
Yes.
Yes.
So some due diligence needs to be done.
Yeah.
And also some vouching.
Yes, yeah.
And as Mr. George has told us, that they can also counter check with the regulators.
Yes, yeah.
And see whether these people are regulated or they are qualified.
Yes, you are right.
We just don't want to bring people on board to build for you because they are relatives.
Yeah,
or
sure.
they are friends.
Yeah, that's the worst mistake you can do.
Yes.
It's not, we are not discouraging you involving your relatives.
Yes.
Because I've ever been involved by one of my relatives. When I was starting this journey of construction,
Yes.
I was involved by one of my
They
relatives.
engaged you.
He engaged me
Yes.
because he had trust in me.
Yes.
And the rest of the story comes now as a reality that I sank into construction.
Yes.
Just because I was responsible and I was honest in
Yes.
what I was entrusted.
Yes.
Some 7-8 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in Embu.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you, in our second session, you'll be able to delve into that.
Yes.
And tell us about your journey. Because I know it's an interesting journey, isn't it?
Yes, you are right.
George, because we are on the technical side today, what does somebody need to do, or what courses does somebody need to be keen on if they're in school? There's some people who are listening and probably they aspire to be a quantity surveyor in the future. What are the courses or subjects to be keen on? And are these courses available locally or they are sought abroad?
In terms of quantity survey, all those courses are available locally.
Yes.
But maybe if one may need maybe now to go maybe and expound much more on that particular course,
Okay.
that's maybe he can seek still, it's available locally, but he can still seek further maybe studies abroad or
Yes.
expeditive like. But majorly to talk about quantity surveying,
Yes.
there are two main subjects
Yes.
that one needs to be
Yes.
keen on.
Yes.
One, we have engineering mathematics.
Okay.
That's the advanced mathematics of high school.
Yes.
That's the main one. One needs to be
And the other one is
so much conversant.
Yes.
We also have we have business law.
business law.
Yeah, we have business law,
I
with
think
which
we want to take a short break, George.
yeah.
I know in our next session we'll delve and dig into that.
Yeah.
If somebody is listening and want to connect with this, probably they want to become a quantity surveyor, and we want to hear much from you. So viewers, we are about to take a short break, but when we'll be back, we'll be unleashing and unpackaging a lot of stuff. Thank you so much. Keep tuned. Thank you.
Kids
I
entertainment,
have the enemy in sight. 18 degrees by 4 degrees. Back to right.
inspiring moments,
In life's journey, there is that one defining moment.
I remember I touched them, they were still warm. And I just told them sorry.
deep conversations on spiritual, political, and economic issues.
In 2017, you offered your candidacy for the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Top local gospel tunes, youthful, engaging conversations,
The person who won me over to Christ before I came to know he was a pastor, we already clicked, we already developed a very strong rapport.
powerful live church services.
God was in the business of restoring apostles to the body of Christ.
Great. Viewers, welcome back to our second session of Man Unveiled. Today, we have been laboring on the construction industry. We have some great players here who have really moved and are moving the markets, and they have a very great future in this business. And we have a technorant and an entrepreneur, both of them working together. And we had, before we took a break, we were with George. He was telling us about the entry point of any person aspiring to go into the field of quantity surveyors. And George, you can pick it up from there and tell us what are the things that somebody needs to look at and be keen on when they're in school.
Okay, thank you for giving me this again opportunity. So I was at majorly on the course that we are doing. We have the major topics that one needs to major on, and the topics that one needs to be very careful and very keen on it. First, I'd say the civil engineering. Civil engineering is simply an advanced mathematics of what majorly we are done in high school. It's somehow advanced, so one needs to be very careful on that particular unit. And then we also have another unit of business law. Business law, this is what now will guide you all, will tell you how the construction industry is being governed, so you can be able to advise the clients well, you can be able to represent your clients if maybe need be, because as a quantity surveyor, you are not just meant to rotate within the quantity survey field, because you can also be a project manager as a QS, and also some other roles as a clerk of works, and any other roles that which you might be assigned or which you might be comfortable to do in the construction industry. And then and then another unit is what we call measurements. Now measurements, that's the backbone of quantity surveying. That one is what we call majorly it involves about taking off, understanding how we are going to cost this particular house, how we are going to obtain these particular quantities, to be able now to make a bills of quantities. That's a BQ of which we have discussed about, and how majorly to come up now with the bills of quantities. And there's also something which we call a material schedule, which highlights the materials that are going to be used in a particular project.
Just pause at that, George. You know, the Bible has almost everything in the spectrum of life, isn't it?
Yes.
And in the book of Luke 14, verse 28, I think this is one of the verses that is very likable by contractors and who are in the building industry and QS. The Bible says that if you wanted to build a building, you would first sit down and decide how much it would cost. You must see if you have enough money to finish it, to finish the job. If you don't do that, you might begin the work, but you will not be able to finish. And if you could not finish it, everyone would laugh at you. Ideally, Simon, here we are talking about preparing, isn't it? You must be able to interrogate your preparedness, isn't it? What would you say about that, Simon?
That's more what the Bible is speaking or it's talking about. It's about budgeting. After you've been given the bill of quantities, you have to have your own budget. You are told that certain project will cost me like 5 million, 6 million. So it's upon you to decide. And also the budget, also the final budget, it depends on the type of finishes you'd want. You might want to have like very nice finishes, but also it comes at a cost. We normally start from a very low position where we say that we do basic finishes. From the basic finishes, now you can be able to advance your project maybe to medium to high-end finishes.
So basically what we are saying is that somebody should bite what they can chew.
Exactly.
Ideally, you should work within your budget. And if you are out of your budget, probably you go to a bank or to a creditor, isn't it? To be able to facilitate in case you have such an arrangement.
You have
but you should do something that is within
your budget.
Within your budget. That's very important.
Very important.
So that at least you finish. That's what the scripture says. So that other people will not laugh at you.
You're right.
And say that you started a very big thing.
You're never to finish.
farmer.
Yes, it is like a white elephant.
Yes,
You've been into the rural areas, George, and you see some white elephants. People began a very big mansion.
Project, then
but at one point,
it stalls.
It stalls.
Yeah.
So you're saying that's one of the reasons for stalling.
Wow.
And I think we should also be wise and be able to engage the people who are learned in that area. So that we avoid the cowboy contractors. We engage the people who are qualified to do a good job, isn't it?
You are right.
Great. Now let's talk about something different now. Now we have labored on the technical part of laying the foundation, building houses, the finishing and everything. And remember, we had started with the land, isn't it? We had started with the land being one of the greatest source of capital, isn't it?
Yes,
The land, the place where the building is land, isn't it? Are there other emerging opportunities in that field, that other people can connect? People can connect with opportunities. For example, B&B, what would you say about it? Other opportunities arising from the industry.
Okay, B&B basically stands for, it's a short form of bed and breakfast.
Yes.
Those are structures, or maybe they are projects that are almost similar to hotels.
Yes.
Is in the hospitality industry.
Yes.
And basically people are doing them for, like, if they have facilities of a family, like a family house that they don't use and it's close to town, they convert it to a bed and breakfast facility. That's with minimum expenses. Maybe they'll just organize the rooms and do the basic finishes. Like doing the washrooms in the rooms that had no washrooms, and a common kitchen where maybe people can come and share a common facility, and then you just retreat back to your room, maybe at night. So basically in the morning you can have arrangement to have breakfast in the morning, or even supper if you so wish.
So those are opportunities that people can connect with.
Yes.
And even rent and sub-rent.
Sub-rent, Instead of having a house which is maybe, if you are looking here, B&B, it's an opportunity to add more value to your facility. Maybe for instance, a house that a standalone house which was costing like 50 or 70,000, after you convert it to a B&B facility, it can earn even 200,000, 250,000 per month. So that's a more added value addition. It's an opportunity to add more.
That's good.
Let
me ask you, George and Simon, the pandemic. We are in the middle of the pandemic, if not at the end of the pandemic. What are the opportunities that have presented themselves in the industry? And I'll start with George, because as a consultant, George, you're aware that most of the staff have gone online. Can you be able to execute most of your roles online, or you have to be physically there? Can you consult for firms that are outside the country? Do you have opportunities in that area that you can be able to utilize in the online platforms?
Yes, there are opportunities. Like, and I can give you an example. Like yesterday, I'd gone for a certain site visit, and also had an online meeting at around 10. So after I went for that particular meeting, and after I went for that particular site visit, I was able now again to stream online and also to conduct other meetings for other particular sites, just online. I can say amid this COVID-19 has brought good and has also brought bad to us. I will start maybe on the negative side. That many office spaces, like in town or in any other place, are empty. Because one, many people now have come to realize that it's not a must for us to meet in our office. It's not a must for us to work from a particular office. We can be able to meet via online using our phones at everything, and everything will run smoothly. But for us as a quantity surveyors, at some point, because of we also need to have the actual cost of these particular buildings, there are meetings which can be conducted online, and there's also meetings which cannot be conducted online, because you also have to see the quality of the materials. We have also to control in terms of cost and anything else which might be involved. So there are those ones which we can be able to carry out online, and those ones which we are needed physically, like on site, to do the measurements, to check on the quality of the materials and also to control on the workmanship of the contractor on that particular site.
Wow.
And then now, if I can say on the positive side, now people have come to realize that I need a cool place, I need a place which is silent, that if in case I have a meeting, I can be able to conduct it very well. I think since last year I can give examples of almost like 10 clients whom I have been able to work with.
To build for them
to
offices.
Build for, not offices, just their homes, but with an office space, and of which they have been able now to go for the mortgages, because nowadays people have realized that if today I'm retrenched, things like rent will be somehow stressful or somehow difficult maybe to pay. So many people have been encouraged to go for the mortgages, for the home ownerships, and then do the construction. So that's why I can say, like right now, our industry now has started to pick up, because initially many people could hold their money because they couldn't really know much about the future or what this pandemic will really lead to or will bring to us.
Wow. So there's some opportunities coming up. What are other opportunities, Simon, that you are finding in the field? Is there a high uptake? There a slow uptake of construction and houses and homes? What is your feel?
Okay. My take is that I would say that people are more motivated nowadays, because at the peak of the pandemic, especially last year, you could find that people who are earning 200 and something thousand, all of a sudden you are told your job is no more, rendered as jobless, and then you are living in a house of like 50,000 or so. So you, without a salary, you cannot be able to manage your daily lives, even to take care of your needs of your families. So people have realized that with the small saving they have, they can do something small. Amazingly enough, you find most of these people, they have some plot somewhere, and they have sat on those plots for over 10 years. So this is the highest time people are waking up to see that there's an opportunity in doing a house, especially for a family house. If you're so happy, or maybe you're lucky to have a plot in town, I would encourage people to go and develop. You don't have to start a big house. You can start with a small KSQ. We can be converted in the near future. You can do it.
But you can even do patio.
Wow. Depending on the resources you have. There are also other opportunities of businesses opening up, like in supplying of materials, building materials. We're also having people opening up building and hardware shops. There are so much potential. Especially within Nairobi and the surroundings.
And the people from the counties, what are you saying to them?
People from the counties also, it's a big opportunity. You know, at the peak of the pandemic, we were told of essential service providers. And farmers were the first of the essential service providers. They are the people who are warranted to pass the border crossings at will. So there's also moving away slightly from the construction industry. We also have opportunities in the construction industry, in the farming industry. So you can also do a bit of farming. For you to do a farming project, you also need to do a small simba back at home, where you can retreat back when you're not in the city. So I also encourage people to do some small structures at home.
That's a conversation we'll have another day for simba. For now, let's try to build people to be able to execute and be able to utilize the things that are easily available. And where they don't need to, again, I think, George, that's a very debatable, a very subjective debate of people building a simba and forgetting where they are living. So people should balance. Should balance and be able to find a balance in life. So that because most of the time you are spending it in the urban city. So people should be careful to not to overdo it. Wow, great. Let me also hear from you, gentlemen, because I think being in that industry, you must have encountered a couple of challenges here and there that have enlightened you, that have made you smarter by the grace of God, and that have left you in a better position than where you were before, isn't it? I wanted to hear your journeys, okay? And tell us probably how has it been? How has been your journey? We hear, I understand, not that I understand. I know, Simon, your background is in education. And we are talking to a teacher who converted to be a contractor. Now he's working with the giants in the industry, the likes of George. How has it been from that perspective of teacher, contractor? How has been your experience, your personal experience?
Wow. It's been quite a big experience, huge experience, I would say. My university education, I took it in India. I did both my bachelor's and my master's. I've done a bachelor's in education, and I've also done a master's in education. So being Mwalimu, this name Mwalimu, Simon Geshoke, it has
Have you ever
some
practiced
connection.
teaching around?
Yes, I did. Since when I left college in 2010, I got engaged somehow around 2012 there, and taught for around 6 months. It didn't work out so good because we could stay without salaries for long. Then an opportunity came from one of my guardian. He entrusted in me with one of the construction projects.
The one you are talking about.
Yeah, I was. The project is in Embu, and if you want to see it, it's called Two Comfort Hostels. Yeah, it's near Brewery Estate, near Menin Hotel. So I was entrusted that
it was your first project.
It was my very first mega project, and we did it for close to 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It has a unit of around the current units are around 60 units that are occupied. It also has a restaurant that's functional. It has a kitchen which is functional. So people who are in around Embu.
So what I'm asking, Simon, that is part of your journey.
Yes.
How did that transition, that's what I want to hear, the transition from teaching to construction. Did you go for a course? Did you just bring technorants? How did you handle it?
By the my engagement in that project was like crack of wax. Crack of wax basically is a person who manages the intake of materials and deliveries, takes the invoices and all that in the site. So I had an opportunity to work with a structural engineer. I had an opportunity to work with the architect, and also above me, I was under a foreman, site foreman. Site foreman. Site manager or site foreman, site manager. So to speak, and he's a kind of the person that we worked. Is a very dear mzee up to today. I treasure him.
He's the one who introduced.
He's a man who held my hand, and I was able to learn quickly. I was very passionate about this field because after staying in the industry for around 6 months, I gained a lot of interest to know what happens, even in interpretation of the drawings. You know, I could only see the 200s, the 150s. So I got keen interest to know what are these all about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
been an interesting journey.
Been an interesting journey, somehow self-taught, somehow taught by others, seeking a lot of information on the same and all that. So I was able to gain more knowledge in the ground, on the ground, yeah.
So yours is more of self-taught?
Yes.
Did you use YouTube like that gentleman called, he's called Julius Yego? What was his name?
The German drawer, yeah.
Did you do a lot of
basically, these are all of ideas you borrow from the YouTube. It's not the bad idea. You borrow so much. When you have you want some clarity, you do a bit of study, you do a bit of research. So sometimes you find that you are on YouTube, and there are simple structures that are on YouTube. We call DIY. You do it yourself. You don't need to, as long as you have the passion, you can have such kind of project run. Maybe for small project, even you can manage. But most of the basics you have to run from others. As long as you have that keen interest to know what happens in the industry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. You was a self-taught. This other gentleman went to school to learn. He paid school fees to go and learn. How has it been, George, in the industry? How has been your experience? How many years have you been in the field?
I think now it's about 6 years. No, 5 years.
5 years. How has been your experience?
Yeah, my experience has been quite good and also quite interesting because I finished my college in 2017. That's when I finished my college in December.
Yes.
But I've been all through in this because immediately when I finished my Form 4, I immediately came to Nairobi and I was employed under a construction company.
Yes.
So that's where even my passion
for building.
Yeah, for building, in construction started.
Yes.
And also I had that vision though. Then before joining there, I really wanted to be a civil engineer.
Okay.
That's what I really wanted.
Okay.
But now, after now joining this particular construction company,
yes.
is where now I started now learning more much about what is in this construction.
Yes.
So that's why I was also convinced by a friend of mine that whom I was engaged with, and he also told me that no, this is the direction that you need to take, and this is what the market needs.
Pause at that. You said a friend of yours, and then you said an old friend of yours.
Yes.
It means it's important to connect with the right people.
The right people.
And also, have you been also an encouragement to other people? Have you held other people's hand after that? Because now somebody held you and enlightened you about a cause. Do you think there's a need to deliberately help people,
yes,
advise people, and even like now that person probably advised you in the area of your strength, isn't it?
Yes.
The quantity, that's what excites you about. Have you done the same to other people?
Yes, I've done.
Yes.
I've my cousin is also a QS.
Yes.
He finished also school I think a year ago.
Awesome.
Yes, and then there's also another lady whom I met through a friend.
Yes.
Who also wanted to pursue quantity survey.
Yes.
She also done with college.
Awesome.
And then now the recent one is my brother now, whom I took to college a week ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's now
pursuing the same thing.
No, he's pursuing building construction.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's why I saw this passion, and I encouraged him to take that particular course. Yeah.
Viewers, if you can encourage, build somebody, it will be great, isn't it?
Yes.
And we have been made by other people, isn't it?
Yes.
Bishoke has told us here he's a product of a certain mzee who
Yes.
helped him to build and become who he is, isn't it?
Yes.
Sure.
My friend Simon here, tell us, amongst those things you're trying to self-teach yourself, what are the greatest lessons you learned as a contractor and as an entrepreneur? The lessons that you have picked along the way, the lessons.
The lessons that I've picked along the way, the biggest one is honesty.
Yes.
You have to be a man of integrity.
Yes.
If you want to be entrusted big things by people.
Yes.
People want to work with people that they can entrust their money.
Yes.
And without integrity, you can't go far.
Yes.
Because you have heard of people sending money to others, and then they went mum, they disappear with the money.
They just send them photos of other places.
Yeah. So you have to be a man or a woman of integrity.
Yes.
Secondly, you need to have a role of network.
Yes.
You don't have to work alone.
They say your network
is your network. Yeah. You have to develop a role of network so that people you can work together with, you can even complement each other.
Yes.
Like myself, when I have a client, I want to take him or her to my QS here for some quantification.
Yes.
I have a client, I take him to my architect for quantification, and that's how we share. We share ideas.
So
we share
that's
jobs.
teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, these are all of teamwork.
And network.
Networks,
yes. The other lesson.
The other lesson is financial management.
Wow.
You have to be a man of diligence in managing your finances, because you find that most of the money you're given is not your money.
Yes.
Yeah, even if it's a labor contract, it's not your money.
It's true.
It's up to you to know how much will be spent on the project, and how soon I can finish the project so that I can get my share or maybe my cut.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to be very good on financial management and encourage yourself even to do some courses if you are poor at bookkeeping and all that. Yeah.
Wow. George, thank you so much, Simon, for those lessons. Because somebody, when they hear those, they may not necessarily only be applied in building and construction, but they are cross-board in the life of an individual, isn't it?
Sure.
George, what are the lessons and some of the peak points that you have come across and said they are outstanding in the life of QS?
I think first of all is passion.
Yes.
If you don't have passion in anything, then it means you won't be able to pursue that what you are meant to do, or what you need to do. First of all, I want to say that, like for me, my passion is what has made me to be what I am today. because I was in employment.
Yes.
But around 3 years ago, I left employment,
Yes.
and because of that passion which I was looking, and because of that passion which I was, I've also been able to make a company, which is now fully operational.
A consortium.
Yes, it's a consortium company in terms of QS services and also project management services.
Great.
Yeah. So majorly, I can also say it's about that integrity.
Passion, integrity.
Integrity. I'll also insist much on integrity because my first 2-3 clients, I got them via Facebook.
Yes. Wow.
And all,
Facebook.
Yes.
Wow.
And all were from. One was from Qatar. The other two are from the US.
Yes.
Diaspora.
So from the diaspora.
Yes.
So we could communicate with them.
Yes.
On several bases.
Yes.
And then there's that trust which you build with the client. Over a period of time. So within a short period of time, we build that particular trust.
Yes.
They could send me their money, go manage the project and do what they could ask me to do. And I ran all those projects. Yes. And out of these 3 clients, I was also be able to be referred because of my integrity and also because of my good service that I did to them.
Yes.
So if you cannot have that integrity, then it means you can never survive.
That's great. Integrity, passion, hard work.
Yes.
Remember we read about the hard work, works of our hands. And this discussion looks like it can go on and on.
Yes.
And we are such a privilege to have you guys here.
Thank you.
And you have poured a lot of wisdom for people who are aspiring to become and also engage in the industry to build houses and homes. What a great show, isn't it?
Yes.
I want to hear your parting shot, gentlemen, because we are almost out of time. Let me start with George. Your parting shot to the viewers, and you can look at that camera and tell them something to build them up and something to look forward for.
What I can tell you, maybe majorly for those clients who are in the diaspora, is that we have good people here in our country who can be able to build for you a nice house, who can also be able to give you what you need. It's just a matter of believing and having a trust with them. And then maybe it's to encourage maybe those young people who wants to join this industry, have that passion. Once you have the passion, it will just drive yourself, and then you can be able now to achieve what you want in this particular life.
Great. Simon, your parting shot, and also give us your contacts and any information that you feel you'd want us, the viewers, to know about your company and everything.
Okay, for my parting shot is that I would say that all is not lost. The industry is still very ripe, and for aspiring clients and those people who want to develop their homes or maybe their premises, their workplaces, it's an opportunity. It's a row of so much opportunities out there. So we can say that we are able and we are willing to partner with them. You can find us on Facebook, New Age International Building and Developers. We also have our website, New Age INTL developers.com, and for the contacts, maybe phone contact, you can do 070 11 800 22. You can reach out to all those platforms, and we are willing to work with you. Ask questions, we are ready to answer them.
Great. What a great time together with you guys. I've been built up, I've learned a lot from you guys, and it's been awesome. From me here at the studio, it's James Ireri. Great having you around for the Man Unveiled program. God bless you, and keep tuned for such programs in the future. Bye, till next time.